Hi, my name is Jenny Lauren Dowden for Conduit News, and today we have Dr. Patrick Wolf joining us. He is a distinguished professor of education policy at the University of Arkansas and an expert on school choice. Hi, Professor. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Jenny. Thanks for having me on.
I always enjoy talking to you about the issue of school choice and what education reform looks like across our nation, especially here in Arkansas. This week is National School Choice Week. I think that now more than ever, a lot of eyes are on school choice. Talk about what this week means.
Sure. National School Choice Week is a celebration of all the ways that parents have to choose a school for their children that can really customize their education, and that's an effective match for the child's needs. It's celebrated through thousands of events across the country, including some right here in Arkansas.
So why do we celebrate National School Choice Week?
So, Jenny, school choice is an opportunity for parents to really be directly involved in their children's learning. Parents as first teachers is an important concept that we've known has been true for a long time. And what school choice programs do is they allow parents to choose the school that's going to be the best fit for their child. And we celebrate this because it's empowering to parents and it leads to all kinds of positive outcomes for children. And the symbol of National School Choice Week is this yellow scarf. So you'll be seeing a lot of yellow scarves around this week, which is tremendously helpful given how cold it is.
It really is. Arkansas has taken some positive steps that we have talked about previously regarding school choice. One of those is the philanthropic Invest in Kids program. Talk to us about the types or the forms of choice parents have in Arkansas, and then explain that program as well.
Sure. So we have a variety of ways that parents can choose a school besides their residentially assigned district-run public school here in Arkansas. We have the school choice program, which is a inter-district public school choice initiative, and that allows parents to enroll their child in a district-run public school in a different district from the one they live in. Because that's just a better fit for the family and for the child. About 20,000 Arkansans participate in that program every year. We also have magnet schools, especially in the Little Rock area, and those enroll about 15,000 students. And magnet schools are district-run schools that are themed. They have a special emphasis to them, like high achievement or the arts or STEM, and parents whose children are particularly interested in those kinds of themes can enroll them in the magnet schools. Also, we have public charter schools, which are independently run public schools. We have 84 of them here in Arkansas, and they serve 42,000 students. Since the pandemic hit, the number of Arkansans enrolled in public charter schools in the state has increased by almost 20%. So a major surge to public charter schools as a result of the disruptions in the pandemic. Homeschooling is another area where there's been a major increase because of the pandemic. And of course, homeschooling, intentional homeschooling, is very different from remote learning that many students have had to suffer under throughout the pandemic because it's intentionally designed by parents. There's a regular schedule, and they're interacting directly with their students and bringing in outside sources to augment the education that they can deliver themselves to students. So homeschooling is definitely on the rise. Over 20,000 students in our state are participating in homeschooling. And finally, there's private schooling. Only about 4% of Arkansans in K-12 are in private schools. So Arkansas is actually pretty low in the rankings in terms of the percentage of students who are in private schools. But we have some programs, some government programs that allow more parents to make a private schooling choice. for their children. These include the Succeed Scholarship Program, which is limited to students with disabilities in our state. It serves about 630 students. And the brand new Philanthropic Invest in Kids Act. That will serve about 300 students, and it's limited to low-income kids. And one thing that's really interesting about the Philanthropic Invest in Kids Act is the creative way that it's funded. It's funded by all of us. It's not funded directly by the government. And the way it works is that individuals can make a donation to a scholarship granting organization in the state. And that organization does two things. One, it provides scholarships for low-income kids to attend private schools. And two, it provides a receipt to the person who made the donation that allows that person to claim a dollar-for-dollar reduction on next year's state income tax. So basically, the state of Arkansas is going to pay these donors back all of the money that they donated to support this program. So it's a very clever way to finance this initiative on the tax side, as opposed to a direct government side.
Right. So, and we did say this was a good step that the Arkansas legislature has taken. It was passed, signed into law 2021. How can we take things a step further? I know a lot of Arkansans want to see true school choice reform, education reform happen. What does that look like moving forward?
Sure. I mean, the first step is to cap out the total number of tax credits that support this program. That cap is $2 million. And there are several $100,000 in tax credits still available for people who want to participate by donating. And they can do so by going to either of two scholarship granting organizations. One is ACE Scholarships. So listeners can go to www.acescholarships.org/Arkansas-tax-credit. Or the other organization is the Reform Alliance. And listeners can go to www.thereformalliance.org. And there are instructions there for how they can donate in a way that will earn them this state tax credit. So the first step is to claim the remaining tax credits that are on the table, so that the program is capped out. And then supporters of private school choice in the state can point to that and say to legislators, look, you know, it's January and all the tax credits are already gone. You know, in the first month of the year, these were all claimed. This is a popular program. You should think about dedicating more resources to it.
That would be great. In your opinion, why do you think parents should demand a greater role in their child's education? We are seeing the conversation a lot, even in nationally, about the struggle between, okay, is it a parent's right there in the classroom, or is it more for the teacher and the administrator? Just give us your opinion on that, and then why you do believe that parents need to take a greater role.
Sure, Jenny. I mean, that's an excellent question. And when I see a situation where schools are fighting parents for control of a child's education, I mean, it's almost like a bad divorce, right? It's like a custody battle on a bad divorce. I mean, these are two sources of influence in a child's life that should be working collaboratively to support each other. And that's where education works best, when the school is an extension of the home and is supporting and reinforcing the values that parents want to impart to their children. So we don't get that ideal situation when schools are saying, you know, as Terry McAuliffe, the Democratic candidate for governor of Virginia, notoriously stated in a debate, he said, I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach. Well, that's really a educationally harmful attitude to have. Parents should have input into their child's education. Parents and schools should work collaboratively in providing the best education possible for children. And school choice as a policy facilitates all that. So because it treats the families as customers of the schools, and the providers need to be responsive to the needs of customers, because otherwise they'll get their service somewhere else. So it empowers parents to be more involved, to be more active, to communicate their needs more to schools, and it incentivizes schools to satisfy those needs more effectively.
What would you say to parents, or what would you suggest to those parents who want to work with the teachers and administrators, but they're coming up against a brick wall in a way?
Sure. I mean, if they've already made overtures to teachers and to the administration to have input in their child's education, to review the school curricula, to comment on it, those are just fundamental rights that parents should have. If they've already reached out and attempted that and they're getting stonewalled, it definitely is time for them to consider educational alternatives, to consider moving to a different public school, to consider the charter school options that are available in their community, to consider the private schooling options that are available, and the two state programs that provide financial support for students to participate in private school choice. And finally, to consider homeschooling if they feel they have the resources and the preparation to do so. And the bottom line, Ginny, is my wife and I ended up educating our two sons in every type of school possible, depending on their needs at the time. They attended district-run public schools, they attended charter schools, they attended private schools, and we homeschooled one of them when that was the right choice for them. Parents know this. They know their children. They are the world's foremost expert on the needs of their children. And so they need to really be driving their child's education and controlling the educational choices that are available.
That's great insight. And I think that our viewers would agree with that as well. Thank you for coming on to talk about National School Choice Week. We look forward to celebrating it, and we hope to have you back on soon.
Thanks, Jenny.